Hello everybody, I'm Oliver and this is Chaotic Bibliophile. I'm gonna be real with you, I am filming this video before having edited and uploaded the video that I uploaded last week, link down below and in the eye as always. So I have no idea what the response of that video is going to be like. Good, I hope, but I can't comment on it in this video. This is more of a looking forward video than a looking back video because I don't remember any channel goal other than the book club, which went decently. It fell through kind of near the end. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I did some readathons. I definitely did Nonfiction November. You can watch my TBR and my wrap-up down below and linked in the eye as well. Other than that, all the readathons I wanted to participate on, everything sort of fell through. So what I'm going to do today is tell you about some stats and some sort of fun little quirks about my 2022 reading year. And then we're just gonna talk about what will be up with the channel next year. FYI, as of recording this, I still have almost 2 weeks left of December and I plan to use them. I severely plan to use them. I have a week off work, so I'm really excited. I plan to get a lot of reading done. The trends should continue in the same direction, so I don't think the percentages would be massively different, but I think it's good to call attention to it. And also I use the story graph to catalog my reading, and all those graphs are from there. So I set my goal at 100 books, which I do every year, and I've read 139 books, which pleases me greatly. Now, next year, I'm going to set my goal to 50 books, and I'll explain why in a second. So my pages goal for this year was 30,000 pages, and I am almost there. I am 2,185 pages short. But if I finish all the books that I plan to finish, I will catch up. Also, it is worth noting that because I pick up many books and don't finish them right away, and I don't log every single one of those into the story graph, and I don't do daily page count, so basically the only info that I feed this is once I finish a book, it counts towards my page count. But if I DNF a book, it doesn't know at what point I DNF'd it, so all of those pages don't go towards my page count. In theory, I have fulfilled this challenge, but I want the story graph to know that as well. It will just feel so much better if I reach the numbers goal. Next year, I want to achieve my ultimate goal, which is to read 50,000 pages. I planned to do it this year and I couldn't because of my master's. Again, I'm pretty sure I've read over that number, but it doesn't count if I don't finish the book. And also it's not counting any of all the journal articles that I read for my master's dissertations and my essays, all of that wasted time. Just kidding. So I'll show you what I'm currently reading that I 100% need to finish this year. I'm reading Funny Boy by Shyam Selvadurai, and I'm loving this. I am currently most reading. I'm gonna finish this book before I dive into any of these because I am obsessed. The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs by Steve Brusatte. I am also 286 pages into Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. I was deeply enjoying this, but I didn't finish it in October, and then there was Nonfiction November, and so I need to get back to it. I'm reading Homie by Danez and Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keeffe. I had started this on Kindle, and then I was loving it so much I wanted a physical copy, and then Danny and I were supposed to read this for Nonfiction November together. She finished it. I was a terrible body reader, and I haven't, and I really want to discuss it with her, and also it's a really good book, so I definitely want to read it. If I finish all of these books, I will definitely have fulfilled my goal, so that is pretty exciting. And the reason I want to set a lower book goal but a larger page count goal is because I want to read a few mammoths next year. And also I want to simply read more books that are over 300 pages. Before moving on to next year, let's talk about the moods, because Storygraph lets you do that. My main mood is reflective, then emotional, then challenging, then informative, and dark. Most of the books I read are medium paced, some of them are slow paced, and a few of them are fast paced. Now, here is the page number thing. I have read some books that are over 500 pages and some over 300 pages book, but mostly, overwhelmingly so, I've read books that are under 100 pages. And again, I love me a short book, but I also love long books and I really want to read more of them. So my plan is to read at least 5 chunksters with a capital C, and then also read like 10 or 15 novellas, because I do love a good novella. So yeah, according to this, I've mostly read fiction with 57% and 43% nonfiction. I think that's fair. I think even if I finish this, well, it depends on how you count poetry, right? But if these are 3 fiction books and 2 nonfiction books, it stands to reason that sort of the proportion is going to be very similar. And as long as it's around 50-50, it's okay by me. Genres. Yay for the gays! LGBTQIA+ is my most read genre, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And then memoir, literary, which is such a weird label, contemporary, and then manga and graphic novels. I'm very happy. I am going to try and read all of my graphic novels next year. Ambitious. This is the year I finally started reading audiobooks. I read like 3. It's fine. And then the slightly shameful thing is that I've read 9 books in Spanish and all the rest have been in English. I don't see that changing. Sorry. I have some books in Spanish that I definitely want to read soon, including more books by Pedro Lemebel, which Dani kindly lent me last time she was in London. So I'm excited for that. But I'm looking forward to the reads, but I'm not sort of prioritizing books in Spanish. And then here's sort of my graph. December hasn't finished, so I hope December will be the month that I actually read the most pages, if not the most books. July was just insane. I traveled a lot, and also June was the month in which I read the books that I used for my diz, and then July was mostly sort of articles and stuff like that. So it makes sense that I wouldn't read as much. That's it. I don't do average readings because I don't read books unless it's a book I absolutely hate, but for some reason I didn't DNF. I would give it a 1 star. And if a book I adore and solidly feel like it's a 5-star book, then I'll give it a 5 stars. Other than that, I don't do ratings. Those were my reading stats. Reading wise, I love this year, actually. I've read some great things, and that's the important bit. I also read some really bad things, but you know, you take the good with the bad. Now, looking towards the future, what is up with this channel? I'm going to continue making videos, first of all, yay! But I am going to stop with the goal of the weekly videos. I just can't swing it anymore. So what I will do is at least 1 video a month that is the wrap-up. I always want to do a wrap-up, and for the foreseeable future, I am going to try and do a weekly video. Once I finish catching up, the goal will be 1 monthly video and then bonus videos. Of course, there are many events for which I might want to make TBRs, and we'll see what happens. I also have a lot of backlog videos or tags that I want to record. So it's not like I'm going to limit myself to a monthly video. It's just that I am not going to push myself to do a weekly video, because even though I haven't been doing it now, I still feel sort of like I should, because it is what I set for myself. And I just want to keep the consistency that I had achieved last year and at the beginning of this year, regardless of what the actual number is, if that makes sense. Okay, now I have a list of events that I'm definitely going to participate in. March, I definitely am going to do March of the Mammoths, which, in case you don't know, it's an event where you are supposed to read books over 800 pages. Then there is Springathon, which happens in May, I want to say. I am really looking forward to that. Pride Month during June, I would like to read only queer books. Women in Translation Month, which I didn't do this year, and it gutted me. We're going strong next year with that. Then Shorty September, very important. And the low-key overdue book club, which will resume as soon as I finish catching up. I have books that I've read that I haven't reviewed. I have reviews that I haven't edited. So different look. Be prepared for that. And then I also have some books that I haven't read that I need to read and review. But the reason I haven't read them is because I want to have them fresh. Hopefully February will be the month where I can finally achieve that. Then I want to really focus on reading short stories and reading about short stories. I might want to do some sort of independent academic research in that regard. I haven't decided yet. And then the most important thing is that I am actually going on a book buying ban. It's not a hardcore ban, but basically I am going to stop buying books unless I'm going to read them right away for a bit. This is for many reasons. One of them is that I'm saving up money for transition expenses. The second one is that I've taken stock of my books and it's more than I read in 1 or 2 years, and I am going to be moving soon-ish. So I would like to be able to purge as many books as I can. In order to do that, I need to have read them. And so, yeah, I think it's a good measure. I'm still going to, if I travel, for example, if I visit a new bookshop, I'm going to buy a book. But one, I'm going to try to buy a book that I want to read right away, and also just limit myself to one book. I, like many readers, when I go out and buy books, I tend to buy 2 or 3 because why not? But then I am reading other books. So yeah. And in order to aid me with this, I do want to make personal TBRs. I'm not going to film TBR videos, but I do want to sort of keep a pile of books and not completely stop multi-reading, but always have 2 or 3 books on the go. So like a poetry collection, maybe fiction and nonfiction, and sort of that's it, or maybe like 4 if you throw a short story collection in. But I've been enjoying finishing books. Who knew? That's very satisfying. So yeah, I want to tone down the multi-reading, which will also help, of course, towards my page count goal. And in order to do this, I am going to start talking about the books that I buy in the month and where my TBR stands. Let's look at the numbers, shall we? Before I do this, I will not take any comment that says it's ridiculous and how did I do this? I know I have a problem, but I am addressing it now, all right? So, at the time of filming, I own 528 unread books, which for some people will be insane and for some people will seem normal. However, these are only the books that I own in London. So, and then I also have loans, which are long-term. I'm not in a particular hurry to give them back, but I still should get on with that. And those are 26 books. So in total, I have 554 unread books in this room. And that is not great. So I'm going to say that I want to actually read at least 100 books next year. But I'm not going to set a larger goal because I still don't want to feel pressured. And I do want to read like chunky books. I do want to severely reduce my TBR. So I'm going to shame myself into doing that. I'm gonna level with you. There are a couple of books that I definitely know I want to get next year. But I think I can wait until it's my birthday. Am I proud? No. Am I ashamed? Not really. I just want to go read now. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have you made any goals for next year? What are they? Did you make plans for this year? How did they go? I maintain that much like book reading and book buying, plan making and plan following through are 2 very separate, equally satisfying activities. So yeah, see you next year. Woo. Overwhelmingly so, I've read